I just wanted to wrap up yesterday's video. I did not end up testing my blood sugar after drinking wine. I ended up, I had forgotten that I had choir practice last night. We don't normally practice on a Monday night, but we have an event coming up this Saturday, so I needed to go to that. So I ended up not drinking wine or testing that. I may do so this evening. We'll see. At some point, I do definitely want to test that. I'm actually just very interested in this whole new world of testing my blood glucose and seeing how I react to different foods. So even keto approved foods, I guess have different reactions in different people's bodies. So what did surprise me the most yesterday, the two nice surprises were that my exogenous ketones that I used during my intermittent fasting did not have any effect to raise. In fact, they actually lowered my glucose, so that was great, a nice surprise. And then the other surprise was just how quickly my blood glucose jumped back up when I did break my fast. So it went from, I think it was around 80 to 99. So that was a pretty big jump. Because I had eaten both the roast beef and then a little while later the macadamia nuts within that hour before I tested, I don't really know which one, or the combination or how that worked. So actually going forward today, I'm going to start testing foods just individually. So I won't need to test again all day until I break my fast. And today I brought some of my favorite Canuka sausage that I had baked over the weekend, and that's what I'm going to break my fast with. And then I will not eat anything else for an hour until I test my blood glucose and see what reaction I have to that. And then assuming that's fine, I have a couple other things I might want to try. I've got my cheese crisps, and then I've also got my favorite Too Good yogurt. But again, I will test those individually and wait an hour and check my blood before, so that I can really see how each individual food is affecting me. And so that's just what I'm planning to do over the next few days, is do some testing and see how my favorite, what I think are keto foods, are really impacting my body and my blood sugar levels, which is an indication then of the insulin response. So yeah, that's what's going on today. And I'll be back later this evening with an update on the numbers and what that looks like, and how these foods impact me. And depending on what we're doing this evening, I may get a chance to test my reaction to wine. So it's Tuesday, it is June the 25th, and yeah, that's what's happening. So have a great day, God bless, and I'll be back with an update later. Hi everyone. It's Karen. I am here for an end of day update around testing my blood glucose ever since I broke my fast this afternoon. So right before I broke my fast, I tested and I was 85 of glucose and 1.9 of ketones. And that is a really good ratio. If you follow or want to know more about the ratio of glucose to ketones, then you can check out some of the Dr. Boz's videos on YouTube, and she talks a lot about that and about what she calls the Dr. Boz ratio. You can get a lot more technical, and I think it's called the GKI ratio, but hers is an easy calculation, and it's basically dividing the glucose by the ketones. So that put me in like sort of a 40-ish range. So that was good. So that was fasted. That was coming off of my 20-hour fast. And then I broke my fast with the sausage snack that I had taken. And I love this sausage. Here's some that's not cooked, but just to show you, my favorite brand is the Canuka sausage. It's no nitrates, no nitrites, no MSG. There is 1 gram of carbs, which is 1 gram of sugar in a serving, which is about 3 ounces. So I love this stuff, and so luckily, after I ate my snack and broke my fast, I tested an hour later. Now, I did not test the ketones just because the ketone strips are really expensive, and I'm kind of going through them pretty fast here the last couple of days. And the whole time that I've been testing, I've been in ketosis. The lowest I've been was 0.7, and anything over 0.5 is for ketones is in ketosis. And the highest was 1.9, which is what I was today when I broke my fast. So I did not test that. I just tested the glucose. And so after my sausage, after an hour, I had only gone up 2 points, from an 85 to an 87. Yesterday, I went up 19 points, almost 20 points, with what I used to break my fast. So that is a huge difference in, the food I'm choosing to break my fast. So then I decided to just try to mimic like what would be a normal night for me, and that would be to get home and have a glass of wine while I, change clothes and start, warming up supper and, doing some things around the house and all of that. So, like I said, at 5:30 when I tested, it was an 87. So I poured a glass of red wine. It was a dry French red wine, and I sipped on that glass, and then I waited an hour, and at 6:30 I tested again, and it had gone up 10 points. So I was up to a 97. And I really want to stay around an 85 or lower. That's ideal for me, that's my goal. So it had gone up 10 points. So the wine is definitely affecting me, even though from a carb count, it fits within my carb allowance for the 20 grams of carbs. It definitely impacted my blood sugar. So I thought, okay, well, let's just continue with this normal night experiment. And so I had a second glass of wine with dinner, and then sipped on that kind of with dinner and after dinner. And what happened there, I had some leftover baked salmon, and that had been cooked with the Primal Kitchen's marinade. I have a video where I talk about that. So I know it was very clean ingredients with the salmon. And then I had some sauteed cabbage. It was leftovers, but it had been sauteed with a little bit of onion. And then once it's soft, I add a few tablespoons of the flavored cream cheese. So you can look for those. They make like a garlic herb, onion chive, and a jalapeno. I like the jalapeno the best because I like the spicy, but Albert doesn't. So the leftovers we had were, I think, the garlic herb. And so I had the salmon and the cabbage, and with the cream cheese, and my second glass of wine. And then I waited an hour, and I just tested my glucose again, and it's up over 100. It's at 104, and I definitely don't want to be over 100. So I don't think it was the salmon and the cabbage. I'm really thinking it's the wine. So I am going to continue to try different things and monitor this. I don't know why I waited so long to start, testing and seeing like the numbers and what my body was really doing. I guess maybe I was a little intimidated about the whole finger prick thing, but that has just been nothing. I mean, the setting I put it on is low, and it barely pricks, and I have to kind of squeeze my finger a little bit to get out the 1 drop of blood that is needed for the test meter. So I've been doing this again. I've been doing this a lot over the last 2 days. And I've, used the side of different fingers each time, and I've had just no problem. There's no soreness, there's no bruising. In fact, I grab a tissue and it's like dry before I even put the tissue on it. It's just such a small prick, but it's enough for the meter to read it. So I'm really glad I've started this part of the experiment of seeing what these foods are really doing to my body, because I guess everybody's different. We have different ages, we have different states of health, we have different metabolic situations, challenges, resistance, all those things. So all I can do is try to figure out, what works and doesn't work for my body. So far I have shown myself that my ketones during my fasted state are fine, and I love that because they're delicious and they help me get through 20 hours of fasting. And my beloved Canucka sausage is fine. After an hour, it only raised my glucose 2 points. and it's delicious. So I cook it long and slow and really almost dry it out. It's almost like a jerky by the time I get finished with it. So Albert doesn't like it that way. He likes his more just like cooked, and I like mine, just dried out and almost hard and crunchy. So, but yeah, so I'm finding that I'm just going to continue this process of elimination to find the things that I like that are good for me, keep me in ketosis, don't spike my blood sugar, and that I can live with going forward, and hopefully, just continue to get healthier and lose this weight. So that's it for today. I'm done. I'm not going to have anything else to eat. I'm satisfied. I would have some square dark chocolate and test that in an hour, except I'm out. So I'll have to try that on another night. But that is something I plan to try, the dark chocolate. My Too Good yogurt, I didn't try it today, or the cheese wisps. So it's still a lot of things to try. I want to go back and try those macadamia nuts because I have a feeling that it was those and not the roast beef that really spiked me yesterday. And that's fine. I can live without the nuts. So, I mean, I like them, but I can certainly live without them. So anyway, just very interesting. If you've thought about testing your blood and, really seeing what's going on with inside your own body, I encourage you to do it. I have found it just very fascinating and not at all a bother. I mean, it doesn't hurt, it's easy, it's quick. The biggest thing, and it's just, kind of tracking the numbers and seeing what's going on. But so far, it's been cool. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, any recommendations, if you'd like to engage in any conversation around this, just please enter your comments below. I definitely will review them. I would love to have some conversation around what you're doing, what you're trying, what's working, what's not. It's very interesting to me. There are a lot of people in the keto world that I've been following that alcohol is not a problem for them. And for me, again, I drink the dry wines, or if I have like a vodka or tequila, it's always with club soda or like lime flavored club soda and a squeeze of lime or something. I have not had sweet mixers, I mean, I'd say for years. It's really probably been for decades. I mean, I gave up the sweet stuff a long time ago. So it is interesting to me that while a glass or two of red wine should be okay for my body, it appears it's not. So that's really good to know. Anyway, I hope you have a great evening, and thanks for watching, and God bless.